How's it going there, guys? My name is Antonio. I'm going to show you how to take photos like this. I think it is super fun, super cool, really easy to do. You can add them to any gallery that you're sending to couples or clients or whatever you're doing. It doesn't even have to be a party. And the reason I love it so much is because it makes a dance floor which is not very crowded or there's not much dancing happening. It can make it look like a really fun party even if nothing really happened, which I think is an awesome tool that photographers can use to sort of spice up things a little bit. Everyone does it as well, or not everybody, but it's not a new technique, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's super easy. By the way, this video is sponsored by Aftershoot. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them later because it's such a handy tool that I use. Anyway, the first thing you need to do is, with your camera flash turned off, or even just your camera flash removed, you need to have your photo that you're taking, your frame, so that it is very, very dark. You only want to see the points of light in the image. So, by the way, you need a camera, a flash, a dark environment with some kind of light source, like LED lights or fairy lights or something like that. And you have to change your camera settings. So your ISO is going to go down, your aperture is going to go really, really small, so that when you take a photo, it's just blackness with points of light. And the reason we have to have a lower ISO and a smaller aperture is because our shutter speed is actually going to be quite slow and let in more light than you would normally want. Generally, I like to have a shutter speed under 1/5 of a second. And if it's faster than this, you're not really going to get that light painting trail effect. Now, if you have these settings correct, the shutter speed might be higher or lower, or aperture higher and lower, or ISO higher and lower, depending on the environment you're in. But if you have your settings correct and you take a photo and you just see the points of light, if you also take a photo while moving your camera, you should actually see the trails appearing. And I think that's pretty cool. Now, obviously, you can't see anything else other than those trails of light, so this is where the flash comes in. Now, you can put your flash on your camera or turn it on if it was already off, and you can actually set it to TTL mode. I find it works quite well, but if you want to use manual mode, which can give you more control over the lighting, you can do that as well. There's not really any particular strength your flash should be on. It really depends on the environment you're in, so feel free to use TTL if that does make it easier for you. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, you should be able to take a photo and move the camera, and when you do this, it's going to keep those light trails in, but now light up the subject because of the flash. If the subject is too bright or too dark, you can increase or decrease the power of the flash or the exposure compensation in TTL mode, and you should be able to get the effect that you're chasing. All right, so a quick break for me to tell you about something that actually saves me hours. And yes, I know this is a sponsored segment, but it's the truth. Aftershoot uses AI to cull your images, and it's actually good. Like, it finds the duplicates, it finds the weird ones, the out of focus ones, the in focus ones. Now, what I've recently started doing is I actually back up my photos on site as soon as I finish the wedding before I get in the car, and I set Aftershoot to actually cull my images for me while I'm driving home. So as soon as I get home, I've got a batch of culled images ready to edit, and then I can send sneak peeks out the next day super easily. And it also helps you with editing as well. It's actually scary how close it edits the photos to how you would do it yourself. And this is one of the most important features, I think. You can teach Aftershoot your editing style. You upload your Lightroom catalogs to it and it learns exactly how you would edit in a bunch of different situations. Now, I know some of you are still going to be skeptical about this, so you can try it for free. Yes, you can try it. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. Download it, the link is in the bio. If you do like it, there's a discount code if you want to go ahead with it. I would highly recommend it. I have used it on every single shoot that I have done in the last 2 years. All right, let's get back into it. Now, two extra things which are very important is some people ask if you should have front or rear curtain flash sync. I have the front curtain flash sync because then it means, if I've got it the right way around, when your flash fires, it's at the beginning of that shutter opening rather than the end of it, which means that you will have a person and then any light trails are going to appear on top of them rather than behind them. And that's because the flash fired at the beginning of the exposure rather than the end. You can use the rear curtain sync, which means that the flash is going to fire at the end, but it is a little bit trickier and less practical to line up shots if you're doing that, because you have to start somewhere else with the camera and then press the shutter and then try and time your movement so that at the end of your movement, your composition is good when the flash goes off. That's very impractical, I think. So just have it on the front curtain sync where the flash fires at the beginning of your shutter, releasing, that is. And also something pretty cool is you can have your flash set to the RPT or the repeat mode, which will actually fire multiple flashes within one exposure, which means you can get like double vision kind of looking photos, which you know, it's up to you if you want to try it or not. It's there. Definitely experiment around with it. I think you guys will have a blast with it. I'm going to keep doing it. I don't ever think I'll not do it, at least a little bit for some wedding receptions. And that's it for today's video. Sorry it's been a while since my last video. It's been so busy, end of financial year currently, but I will hopefully be back up onto my one video every week schedule, hopefully for the foreseeable future. I'll catch you guys in the next one.